Andor starts in just a few more days, so here's everything you need to know before watching the latest live-action Star Wars series. While it looks like there will be some flashbacks to Cassian Andor's younger days, most of the story will take place 5 years before the events of Rogue One and A New Hope. While, of course, the series will focus on Andor himself, we will also see plenty of Mon Mothma, the character first seen in Return of the Jedi as the leader of the rebellion. At its core, this will be the story of how the Rebel Alliance came to be. The first season is going to cover 1 year of the timeline. Season 2 will cover the following 4 years, taking us all the way up to where we see both Cassian and Mothma in Rogue One. It sounds like both seasons will be following a similar structure, though. Each season has 12 episodes in it, and will be broken up into 4 3-episode arcs. So every 3 episodes of Season 2 will cover a major event of Cassian's life, and then there will be a time jump to cover another event from the following year, and so on. From what I can gather, Season 1 will also share that same 3-episode arc structure, just in a more condensed timeline. But let's dive into the characters a little bit more. Cassian Andor is our lead. He was first seen in Rogue One as a rebel operative who has, as he put it, done terrible things for the rebellion, like shooting his informant in the back at the start of the film. I think we're going to see more of those terrible things over the course of the series, although it might not be until Season 2. Actor Diego Luna has said that Cassian will be fairly different at the start of the series, basically working for his own survival and not towards some grand cause. He won't seem like the kind of person willing to give his life for the greater good, and we will watch him transform into that person. We know a little about his family at this point. Fiona Shaw is playing Marva Andor, the adoptive mother of Cassian, who lost his biological parents at a young age. B2 Emo is the little red droid that's already stealing hearts and minds as the Andor family droid. It uses its many tools to tow scrap. Speaking of droids, you can't really talk about Cassian without mentioning K2SO. Actor Alan Tudyk was part of the initial announcement of the Andor series years ago, but I don't expect to see him in Season 1. Showrunner Tony Gilroy has basically said he won't appear until Season 2, if he appears at all. I think they're just being coy about his appearance. I'm sure he will pop up. I do think it's possible he could be at the end of Season 1 or something, and they're just trying to keep it a secret. I'm just saying don't be too surprised if they hold on to him for Season 2. But let's get back to the characters we know about. Genevieve O'Reilly's character, Mon Mothma, has been described as the co-lead of the series. Like I said, she eventually becomes the leader of the Rebel Alliance, but that's years away at this point. She was a senator in the Republic Senate during the Clone Wars and remained in the Imperial Senate when Palpatine declared himself Emperor. Season 1 takes place 14 years after that, and she is struggling to use her position to do some good in the galaxy. We don't know much about her life at this point, so I'm very intrigued to see the political thriller side of the story. 2 years before the events of Rogue One, we know she will make a speech to the Senate denouncing the Emperor, which forces her to go on the run. She then delivers a message to the various rebel cells across the galaxy to officially start the Rebel Alliance. Maybe we'll see that happen in Season 2, or you can watch it right now in the Season 3 episode of Star Wars Rebels titled Secret Cargo. We know Mothma will have some sort of relationship with Luthen Rael, played by Stellan Skarsgård. We know very little about him, and it seems like that's by the character's own design. We can see he is living a double life of sorts, one of status and privilege, and one where he is working to recruit people to fight against the Empire. Like Mothma, he's got a lot to lose, but still wants to do some good, but he also seems like he's on the more extreme side of the fight. One of the people he visits in the trailer to potentially recruit is Saw Gerrera, played by Forrest Whitaker. He was a significant character in Rogue One, but has also appeared in The Clone Wars, The Bad Batch, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and more. He is definitely on the extreme side of the fight. We can see that in Rogue One, where he attacks the Empire with no regard to the civilian lives of the planet Jedha. But he has done far worse in the book Rebel Rising. In The Clone Wars, we see that he was an insurgent against the separatist occupation of his homeworld Andor. He fought alongside his sister, Steela, who died during the battle. She was basically his moral compass, and her loss changed him forever. My hope is that we will see him do some very questionable things in this series to make audiences question whether or not the ends justify the means. I think that will be a major theme of the entire series. Speaking of questionable choices, let's talk about the Imperial characters. We don't know a ton about them yet, but Denise Goff is playing Imperial Security Bureau Officer Dedra Meero. The ISB was responsible for ensuring the galaxy's loyalty to the Empire. Think of them as the FBI during the Cold War, interviewing people for minor infractions or maybe no reason at all, trying to get them to admit they were communists, whether they knew it was true or not. They're bad news. I think it's interesting Dedra can be seen flanked by Death Troopers in some shots of the trailers. When they were first introduced in Rogue One, they were reserved for people like Krennic, who were related to the secret projects under the umbrella of the Tarkin Initiative, but they could also simply be used to protect the VIPs of the Empire. From interviews, I don't get the sense that Meero is at that point in her career yet, but who knows. Underneath her, we have Cyril Karn, played by Kyle Soller. He can be seen in a blue uniform on the planet Ferrix, where much of Cassian's story will take place in Season 1. His organization has been described as a kind of corporate police. I don't know exactly what that means, but I get the sense he is from Ferrix and has been recruited to help the Empire keep order on his own planet. Soller has said his character has aspirations to join the ISB, so it's kinda like if he can help oppress his own neighbors, then he can potentially rise up the ranks to help oppress the entire galaxy, but also make life more comfortable for himself. His mother is being played by Catherine Hunter, who has been described as the stage mother from hell. I think a lot of Cyril's motivations will be from his mother, who doesn't mind hurting those around her if it means profit for her. And that brings me to another point about family in this series. We appear to be hearing a lot about our main characters' home lives. Cassian and his adoptive mother, Cyril and his mother, Mon Mothma and her husband. I think we're going to see a lot more about how these people act behind closed doors. We get glimpses of family life in Star Wars here or there, but I think it will be a larger part of the Andor series. Tony Gilroy has talked about this series as a look into the day-to-day experiences of the people behind the scenes. He talks about the movies, specifically the Skywalker saga, showing the big moments from the big heroes. I think Andor will show us the small moments from the small heroes. Not to say that we will think they're small, they're just not the Jedi or the Sith swooping in with their flashy lightsabers to save or ruin the day. Kind of the same way A New Hope was about Luke Skywalker using the Force to destroy the Death Star, and then Rogue One was about all the normal people who had to sacrifice everything to make sure that could happen. I really dig that. Speaking of those larger-than-life characters, can we expect any cameos in Andor? The Star Wars series have certainly gained a reputation for that, and the Marvel series for that matter. I do think that's likely, but from Tony Gilroy's comments, I think we can expect them to work for the story. Just like Saw Gerrera, he is a character that makes sense to pop up. Gilroy has mentioned that, yes, familiar faces will appear, but not in the name of fan service. Or as he put it, it's always protein, never icing. I like that phrase, but basically he means any appearance of an existing character will be done to serve the story first and foremost. Personally, I'm not expecting a lot of cameos in Season 1. Season 2 seems a lot more likely since Cassian himself will become more and more ingrained within the Rebel Alliance. I don't expect a ton of people to show up on the planet Ferrix, but on Coruscant with Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, or any senator makes complete sense. Even Palpatine in some form is on the table. Masamita, good old Tommy Two Horns? Absolutely, bring him on. But I think that's all we can say for now to really prepare you for the basics of Andor, except for when and how to watch it. The first 3 episodes will premiere on Disney Plus on Wednesday, September 21st, so we're getting the entire first arc to kick everything off. From that point forward, 1 episode will premiere every Wednesday, with the season finale airing on November 12th. We will be reviewing every episode as they come out, we'll be doing live stream after shows every Wednesday evening, and we'll do videos on whatever we think needs to be covered in between. On our Patreon, we'll be releasing our reactions and audio commentaries for every episode. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.